Dice Tower Tonight, episode 20.
Hey, live from Origins 2018.
Welcome to Dice Tower Tonight, a video cast about board games and card games, and especially the people who play them. On tonight's show, Tom and I are at Origins, so we'll try to cheer Crystal up with some chat about some recent games.
Really?
We're going to try. We may entice some visitors to drop by, and then we'll take your questions live. I'm Eric Summerer, and joining me now, the blossom and buttercup to my bubbles, Tom and Crystal.
Yay, Powerpuff Girls!
There we go.
That show's over. No one cares.
It's back.
Is it back, really?
Yeah, they did a reboot and everything with new voices.
Oh, they didn't do like that. I thought they did the teenager version of that.
That was in Japan. No, this was a brand new Cartoon Network reboot.
All right, we're talking about board games. We're at Origins. We're not talking about no Powerpuff Girls stuff. But dude, you're on the screen. Look, right there.
But I like it. Hello.
Super weird.
I don't usually get to do this right next to you. This is kind of weird.
So yes, we're here at Origins, and Eric said we're here to cheer up Crystal. I was here to make her jealous, but
I'll take both. How about that?
It'll be what?
I'll take both of those. I'll take the jealousy and the sadness going away, all of it.
Well, that's fine. Okay, so here's the deal, folks. There's a very good possibility we may be interrupted over the course of this.
It's entirely possible.
So,
this is a live haul. It's 9 p.m. here in Hall C at the Convention Center.
The place to be.
Yes.
Yeah, but I feel like being here. I'd rather be in the open doing this sort of thing. I like the interruption. I just do that. That's more. If we were in a room, like, we could not be at Origins. This way, you might see someone famous walk by. You probably won't, because they're all dead.
Well, it's been an exciting day here in Columbus. We had this big giant banner, like a big circular banner that needed to be hung above our booth, and it wasn't hung until we had been streaming live for about 15 minutes, something along those lines. And oh, hello, there it is.
There's our banner.
It looks like a halo.
I mean,
That's pretty impressive.
so Eric, you're the devil on one side of Tom's shoulder, and that's the giant angel on the other side of him.
Exactly. So we're in the middle of an interview, and this giant crane thing fires up, and they start lowering and raising, and we're trying to talk about board games while this is all going on. It was entertaining.
Phineas says Hall C should be the place to see. That's kind of a thing I should have mentioned maybe a long time ago.
Yeah. Hall C is the place to see.
Someone said the ceiling is made of calyx. All right. So, hey. So there we go. Okay, Crystal, tell us about War of the Buttons.
War of the Buttons is a game that Tom recently reviewed on the Dice Tower channel that he's going to tell you more about right now.
Oh, I didn't send it to you yet? Is that the...
What? War of the Buttons? That wasn't part of one of our games. Or it didn't get picked.
Wait, what was the game I was supposed to send you?
Groves is the game that you were supposed to send me.
Well, I did send Groves, right?
I haven't gotten it. So,
all right.
Hey, but man, look at me. War of the Buttons, I know nothing, and I'm just throwing it out there because I watched the Dice Tower videos. So,
right,
hey.
Your game.
I did. I have it here. Would you like to talk about it?
Sorry, Crystal. Think of another game to talk about.
I have one, don't worry.
The game we're going to talk about is Somnium, which Tom talked about a few weeks ago. Somnium. Somnium is a game about building dreams and building tableaus around those dreams. You've got a bunch of these cards. Tom did talk about this a while back, but you've got these cards, and they come in 3 different suits. There's a blue suit, a red suit, and a green suit, and they have different symbols on them that you are trying to match from one symbol to another. So as you acquire these cards, they're in a circle, and you can draft them by moving pawns around the circle. And the more you move them around, the more tokens you need to pay, but if you only move them like 1 or 2 spaces, you may earn tokens, which can help you later on. So if I draft this card and put it into my tableau, hello, there we are, it has a mermaid and an octopus on it. Later on, I need to find a card that has a mermaid or an octopus on it to put it next to. What? There's one right there.
Oh my goodness!
See, this is better with a partner. And so that would be a legal placement. However, if I don't manage to do that, I've got a nightmare.
No!
Yeah, a completely wrong suit. It doesn't have any of the tokens I need. Then the little token goes in between. That's a break in your dream, some sort of logical fallacy. And that will hurt your scoring later on. You can also, once you build pyramidically, So once I've got like 3 cards like here, I can build 2 below it. And I can even build a 3rd level, and the scoring is doubled or tripled in those later levels. You play this over 3 rounds, you got like a circle of cards, and you draft them until either there's only a couple cards left, or the 2 tokens are on the outside meet, and that can trigger the end of the round. You do this 3 times after refilling, and then you score. The more stars you have, I didn't actually show you the stars. So the harder the card is to play, the more stars it has on it.
The fewer items on the card.
Right. And so those stars are doubled or tripled at the 2nd or 3rd level, except if you have a break in your dream, you don't get the double or triple. There's also nightmare cards that are bad for you, but they have lots of symbols on them, and there's also game-breaking additional cards that you can draw that let you do stuff. It plays really fast. I think we went through the whole 3 rounds in about 30, 40 minutes. That was the first play with rules and everything. Tom said there was more to it than simple set collection drafting. There is certainly considerations. The first round is relatively simple. You sort of grab the cards you can and try and make a basis for your cards. Later rounds, as you're trying to build that 2nd and 3rd level and prevent your opponent from grabbing the ones that they can use, it gets rather complicated. And there's more to think about. I was sort of annoyed so here are the tokens. You can use these tokens to add more symbols to your cards. And you earn them by moving your pawn around the board, but eventually you have a handful of them that you're trying to sift through. It's like, do I have a 2nd mermaid in here? I really
or
need...
you can put all the blue ones in one spot on the table in front of you, face down.
But I'm not supposed to show you what I have.
No. You can just put them. You can put them on the table like this. So I got 2 blues here, and I know these are blues, and I know this one's wild.
No, I need to have them all nearby. Anyway, I found a little fiddly to. But
it's a little. Well,
I
actually,
dropped them a few times.
I spent tokens up the wazoo when playing this game.
I had a whole bunch at the end. I just played better, I guess. Anyway,
I saw breaks in your dreams. There was no breaks in my dreams.
There were like 2 breaks,
but there was 0 in mine.
Strategic reasons.
0.
Anyway, I enjoyed it. I destroyed Chaz Marler.
Well, that's what's important, clearly.
I'm not as interested though. I played it with Chaz today just to get a second run at it. But I had played it with my kids, and they got bored. They walked away from it. I think they didn't enjoy the. They want to play 1 round and then go. So they weren't as interested. Anyway, that's Somnium, which was the one that Tom sent to me.
All right, Crystal, it's time for you to wow us with a game.
Well, it's a game that I believe you all have already discussed on the show, but I just recently got to play for the first time, and that is, and it's funny, I dropped something as I was grabbing the game box. That is Drop It. So Drop It is a dexterity game where you are dropping wooden pieces into a little plastic insert thing. And as you're dropping pieces in there, you are trying to follow 3 specific rules. Colors cannot touch like colors, shapes cannot touch like shapes, and there are some rules on the base and the sides that you cannot break as well. So like, for instance, over here, you cannot have a rhombus touching that wall. So you look and you see, okay, where can I drop a piece legally? So I'm going to try and make this green square not touch a green thing or a square, and that's not going to work, but yeah, see, so it's touching a square, so I wouldn't score. You score points based on the level that the piece goes up to, and whoever has the most points after all the pieces have been dropped wins. It's really simple, but it's got great table presence, and it's really quite fun. So my game group's been enjoying this kind of as a light filler between other more heavy games, and I'm digging it quite a bit. So that is Drop It, which is from Cosmos. It just released in 2018. And I know you guys have both played this one, right? Or no? Yeah.
Actually, I was talking to Thames and Cosmos today, and they said the game is selling out everywhere.
Nice.
It's doing that well. It's one of those games that a store can demo. Like, I talked to our local store, and I said, hey, demo this game. I said it will sell. And he did. He got a demo copy, and he said every time he demos it, he sells it.
Yeah.
It's super approachable for whether hardcore gamers, family gamers, casual gamers, anybody can play this, and it's fun.
Yeah, my son wants to demo this at the next local convention.
That's right. I keep forgetting. When did you bring your kids to Origins?
Origins was two years ago with them.
Like
only 2.
So when
3 years ago.
When do you think you would bring your kids to another convention? And like, so far, so you've taken them to this one. Kinda, you took them to Dice Tower, kind of not really though, right?
Right. Well, they went to the kids' room.
They did go to the kids' room.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you've taken them to Con, right? I believe you've. yeah, like
my son has been going for the past 2.5 years or so, and has been teaching games. And this coming fall, I'll be taking the 7-year-old as well. So mommy gets to have a weekend all by herself. I'll take both kids to the convention, which will be a very different experience.
I'm actually really proud because yesterday, for the first time ever, my child, who is now an adult, went to meet up without me.
Wow.
And drove there and texted the people there and said, "What games does my dad never bring that you want to play?" So, like, she took Shadows of a Camelot and La Havre, although I do like, but basically my guinea pig group was like, "We're tired of playing these garbage games. Bring some good ones." So I thought that was cool, though. Like, she just went on her own, right? Yeah. I was like, you can do this pretty much all summer if you want, you know, anytime you want it. Well, for the rest of summer, I'll probably go with her.
Yeah.
But, okay, now it's our turn to talk about a game.
Okay.
The poorly named Exodus.
Paris Nouveau or Paris Nouveau.
Yeah, okay. So, what I want to hear Crystal's thoughts on this just from looking at the cover.
It looks like a clone of the Resistance based on the cover alone.
Knowing it's an indie boards and cards title.
Yeah. I mean, that the color scheme, the red, and the style of the outline, like that. To me, if I saw that box from a distance, I might almost think it's the Resistance.
Right, and I think that's a reasonable thing. Like we're saying, I mean, it could be like an expansion to the Resistance or the coup or whatever. It's actually a completely different game. I think it takes place in the same universe.
It says it on the. It's the dystopian universe.
Dumb name for a universe.
Yeah, like every universe.
I mean, that's just depressing, don't you? Well, yeah, you want to give your universe a little optimism, don't you?
I think it'd be called like Happiness Land. Now, it actually is dystopian, but you know, you don't call. It's like the bad guys. They always name their ships the Judgment of Doom. Like, no, if I was a really bad guy, my ship would be called like Smiley Rainbows.
Happy Kitty.
And we then destroy you with it.
It's the Hope, the Starship Hope.
So anyway, so we played this. We just finished playing it. It's a 4 to 6 player game, and after playing it, it definitely has to be a 4 to 6 player game.
Yes, you need multiple. You need a good number to make this work.
Although after playing with 6, I have a hard time imagining playing with other numbers. 6 worked really well.
6 did work very well.
But in this game, half the players, or part of half, are on the good team, and they're running. You're running from the bad guys. And then the other half are the bad guys who are chasing you. And so in this game, there's 7 possible rounds, and you know what role you are. The good guys are the bad guys. And then you're going to be voting for someone to be leader. Everyone has, I think, 8 or 10 voting chips that last you the whole game. So whenever you vote for a leader with those chips are gone. So you have to choose carefully, as we found out. Yes. Very deadly. So when voting happens, we pick a leader. The leader then is going to be offered these running cards. So these cards here are numbered 1 to 5. They have a number of victory points. They might make you lose a life, or they might make you lose cover. And so everyone's going to offer cards. So I might be like, hey, you should pick my card because my card's amazing. Or my card's crap. You can pick it, but I don't recommend it. You can say whatever you want. The leader takes some of these cards, add a random card in, shuffle them, take a random card out, and then they pick one of these cards to play. What you're doing is you're essentially forming 2 lines of cards. You're forming a line, and you're looking at the distance on these cards. And you want to make sure that the good guys are always a higher distance away from the bad guys. The good guys also start with some tokens to help them keep the distance ahead, but those tokens could disappear as the game goes by. So the leader's going to pick a card, but this card might make them lose a life, which is really deadly because everyone has 2 life. And if you lose both of your life, the game is instantly over, and the team you're on loses. So it's really dangerous. But they also might make you lose cover too. At least it makes you lose both. And if all the cover tokens are gone, the good guys lose. So the good guys can lose if all the cover tokens are gone. If the bad guys catch up to them, which, by the way, when someone's the leader, they're going to pick someone else to be the tail and Charlie, or Tech, as Eric calls it. That person is going to, after the leader picks a card to play, they're going to draw 2 random cards, and they have to play one of those 2 cards. And that card goes on the bad side. And that's the whole game, really. If you make it through all 7 rounds, then you compare the victory points in each line, and whoever has more wins.
Also special roles that you can you're regardless of your identity, you have a role that has some sort of special power. Maybe more hit points. Maybe you get more voting tokens. I was able to be Tail End Charlie if I spent enough voting tokens.
And I could heal somebody. Here's the thing about this game is the good guys have a tough time of winning. They really do. However, they can also be more open. They don't have to be deceptive at all over the course of the game. This game is 100% about the talking.
Yes.
You do actions over the course of the game, but it's about convincing people that you're not evil. In fact, we might have lost had Eric not caught one of the players say they when talking about the good guys. So it was a really quick thing.
We had sort of ruled out 2 of the players. So there's 6, and there were 3 and 3, and we had ruled out 2 of them as very likely on the evil side. But then there were 4 left, and one of us was a traitor.
Right.
And at one point, sort of a heated discussion, one of the players that was evil was like, I don't know how this is even close. We're gonna lose. You know I'm evil. You're not gonna let me do anything ever again. And the other player is like, yeah, but if they get such and such number of points, I'm like, wait, why are you saying they? And he just paused.
And that pause was his undoing, right? Because if he had jumped and said, oh no, I'm just saying it as an example, I might have believed him, right? Because I was very distrusting of Eric slightly. I always had your back.
I knew Tom was going to turn at any point, so maybe the second to last round.
Hey, we won a game together.
We did.
Has that ever happened?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it never happened.
Anyway, so I like the game. I don't know yet. I need to see more. Like, there's so many of these social deduction games out there. Like, how this one works. But the one thing I liked about this game was the team aspect. Right? You're on one of 2 teams. It's not everyone looking for that one bad guy.
It's true. Yeah, and even when we had sussed that out, there was still the chance that in those last couple of rounds, the voting could not go our way, and the bad guys could openly just take control of the whole thing. Because you've got this, in the Resistance, the leader passes around the table in a predictable pattern. And there is a way that you can skip around by not allowing the particular team to go for the round. You just veto the whole setup so that the leader moves. But this allows you to sort of seize control if you kept enough of those voting tokens and keep your block in control for a good portion of the game. And we had run out of voting tokens. And the bad guys openly just took control of the last round, and it came down to whether they could knock me off with that Tail End Charlie draw. It was a very tense game throughout.
Yeah, I was so nerve-wracked because I knew that 2 guys were bad, I think. And then I was sure for a while that Eric was the 3rd bad guy. Then I was like not so sure. And at the end of the game, even when we knew who the bad guys were, we still almost lost.
Yes.
So I like it. Some of the players who played the game, I have not played Secret Hitler, but some of them said that it's similar to Secret Hitler. All right, so that's our game. Now, normally we do game shows and all that nonsense, but I
didn't prep that.
Are busy at Origins. You are busy.
Well, actually, I have a game show prepped, but I don't think we can do that because there's always the chance someone will watch this before our game show on Saturday. So instead, we're just going to talk and chat. We're going to let Crystal ask us questions.
Absolutely.
And you can also ask questions from we'll let you be the moderator of questions.
Ooh, this is exciting. Okay. Well, I mean, I have to know, it's only day one of Origins, but like, what is the thing that the game that has surprised both of you most thus far? Either stuff you've heard about from other people or something you saw personally. Like, what surprised you today?
I mean, the exhibit hall isn't open yet. So all we've seen so far is what people have brought to the booth on our first day of live streaming.
Okay.
One of the things that I was most excited about is I got to talk to Renegade Games early this morning, and they were showing off Spy Club, which I'm very interested in. It's a cooperative game about kids solving mysteries, but it has a progressive campaign element, almost like a resettable legacy game, is what they're saying, where you're searching for clues, and the first game has a pretty straightforward linear layout to collecting these clues, but future games may require you to do a Rubik's Cube arrangement and move slide cards around, play mini golf. There were 180 cards that were bound in these packs that they didn't even open for me, that are the various campaigns, and they say it plays well with like 6 or 7 and up.
It's a campaign game?
It's so there are 5 games that form a particular campaign, and then you reset it again. I'm totally going to play this with my kids.
The concept sounds really interesting. And I haven't disliked a game from Renegade yet. I haven't admittedly played all of their titles, but anything they put out at this point, I'm at least interested in.
Yeah.
I am, I'll say for me, again, there's not a ton of games that are here that are new, but I'm glad to see Reef here. I'm really excited about Reef, and you've not played Reef yet.
I've not played it yet.
I think you might like it.
Is that Emerson's new game?
It is. Emerson's also here, so that's exciting.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, I think I'd like to play that one first before I grab it. But if I wait too long, they might be gone. So I don't know.
They have 300 copies.
That's how many they brought of Century Spice Road, I think.
And they went out. Remember how many copies of Azul sold at Essen? 2,000. 2,000.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate Plan B.
I'm not underestimating. I'd just like to play it before I buy it.
Someone in the chat said I should only ask you all Weird Al related questions. Tom, what do you think about that?
I almost made Eric now.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so how?
Fishing too, if you want.
Right. Well, I did not get to watch a lot of the live stream today because, I do have a job, and unfortunately, I had to actually work while I was at work.
We find most people who watch our channel do have jobs and watch them at work.
I honestly, if I could, I totally would, but our computers are pretty locked down at work because I work for.
Well, you bring your phone and stream it. Oh wait, I'm giving bad advice. Never mind.
Yeah, no. Occasionally, I will sneak a video on there. But so I did see that you all got to put Fireball Island on the stream. Eric, had you gotten to play that prior to today, or see it prior to today in person?
No, I haven't seen it physically, and I even didn't get to get that close to it. I was doing the Q&A from the other side of the room, and they packed it up before I got to even touch it. So it's still on my must-play. I've ordered it, so I'll get the non-shiny version when it's ready.
Yeah, I ordered it as well, and I almost didn't, but then I found out no one else in my game group was backing it just because of the size and the amount, and I was like, so I think I didn't get any of the expansions. I just did the base game, and then I actually paid the extra $10 to get the minis painted, but I'm really excited to get it.
I got the painted minis as well.
I mean, for $10, right? Like, they look so neat.
Yeah.
All
right, so Tom, how did day one in the Dice Tower booth go?
Pretty bad. Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, so here's the deal. Every year I've come in, and every year I tell people, we come and we have the wrong chairs and we have the wrong stuff. And we came in yesterday and we didn't have everything that we needed. But we had almost everything. We asked for something that we were missing, and they placed it right away. It was smooth.
Yeah.
Yesterday was like,
yesterday was great.
This is great. So this morning, first of all, the sign people didn't show up, like Eric mentioned, till the very last second. And then we were missing some very important screws, which we sent Mike immediately to the store to get. And so that was one problem. Then 2 of our 4 cameras had problems. We found out that one of the cameras is broken, and we have jury-rigged the other one to work. And we have this webcam. So we were able to do stuff, but that took a while and really threw off our schedule. And then a good third of the publishers who were supposed to show up just didn't, or forgot, or whatever.
That tends to happen every year, though. I feel like the first day tends to be sparse because people are setting up, or they forget, or they just decide.
But usually I'm on the ball and can go hunt those people down. But because I spent the morning working on these cameras and fixing all that stuff, I wasn't able to go hunt them down.
It threw us off our game pretty significantly.
But by the end of the day, we were on track, and I'm hoping and thinking and praying and wishing and hoping that tomorrow will go better.
Okay. So somebody in the chat asked, the roll-and writes are obviously very hot right now. I know you guys just discussed this on the Origins preview podcast. I did get to listen to that.
Andy and Suzanne, I played at least 2 roll-and-writes, I think, since we've got here.
Yes. Where are they now? Are they still
They're probably rolling and writing somewhere.
Probably.
Well, okay, so Tom, you mentioned that you feel like for a roll and write to really make a splash at this point, you mentioned in the podcast that were released yesterday that it needs to do something unique. But based on how many game mechanisms exist in board gaming in general, would you say that there's a lot of potential there if people are willing to do unique things within a roll and write game?
I think very few roll and writes are ever going to be super popular. I just think that's the nature of the beast.
I mean, Quicks is really popular at Target, I think. Like, I've seen it on the shelf for a while.
Quicks is also like one of the most simple ones out there. I think you can do some really cool stuff with some of these roll rights, but I think they're not going to be nearly as popular.
It's a genre that I've been really enjoying lately, and it's weird because it doesn't really fit what I would normally describe as like my favorite types of games. But for whatever reason, I just got an order from Amazon.de in the mail, and I've played Knock 'Em All. I haven't gotten to play Gone Shown Clever yet.
I feel like I feel like Amazon stuff shows up for a reason.
For a reason?
I thought you said, did she not say for whatever reason some stuff showed up from Amazon.de?
I don't think that's what she was saying when she said it. I think you were only half listening, actually.
I mean, that would be par for the course. So the chat is very, very active. Someone said, "Can we bring you a new camera?" I don't know if they are sincere. So I would imagine the answer is generally maybe, depending on who you are and what you mean.
The thing is that we called the company and we're going to be able to get that camera replaced.
Oh, nice.
And
that's good.
That we've jury-rigged, we can get that one fixed, although I feel like I'm going to have to pay for that.
Yeah.
That's our fault because what happens is we have these HDMI cables in the cameras, and in the studio we occasionally will trip over the HDMI wires and it yanks it out.
Yanks it, yeah.
And we should be pulling them out more carefully. We do that now. Actually, now when we're done live streaming, we pull the HDMI cord out right away. But you don't have to, so we've been leaving them in.
Yeah.
So that's what's happened.
Okay. Someone in chat asked if you all have ever played VCR-based board games.
No, because when I grew up, I did not have a TV/VCR.
Really?
Yeah, not for some of my childhood I did, but for most of my childhood I did not. So the only time we ever watched movies, my dad would go to the library and rent a projector, and we would watch projected movies on a screen or something.
Wow.
But we never. But I didn't have a VCR. So my friends did, but I wasn't even that really interested in them. You played them, right?
I don't think I can recall actually playing any of the VCR games. We had a VCR at home, but yeah, no. I've always heard stories of them, but I've never actually played them.
I've wanted to try Atmosphere for a long time. Someone mentioned it in the chat, and I know it's horrible for the record, but apparently there's tons and tons of copies in Europe because I think it was French originally, and so there's just copies upon copies of that game over in Europe. So Dan Hughes has agreed to bring one of his many copies that he's acquired over the years to Dice Tower Con for me, so I can finally play Atmosphere.
Not a cost for that. I just want you to know that he's going to make you talk about Huddersfield somehow, some way. I would like. I mean,
I'm a Star Trek fan, so I can talk about Huddersfield because that's where Patrick Stewart is from. So
I don't care where he was born. It has nothing to do with Star Trek.
It's a connection, Tom.
Just in case, Dan, you thought that me talking about Huddersfield there, I would like to say Huddersfield, worst city of England. I just want to clarify that.
Really?
Well, I don't want Dan to accidentally get me to say something good about Huddersfield. I think it's not a fair thing.
Okay, so you're trying to counteract it.
I am.
It's a sliding scale, and the more
That's
bad
correct.
things you say about Huddersfield, it'll sort of...
Yeah, during Dice Tower Con, during This Game is Broken's live show, Tom's going to come busting in the door yelling about how horrible Huddersfield is, probably.
Huddersfield equals terrible.
He'll be picketing their show outside. Oh, my goodness. All right, looking through the chat. Has anyone ever made an escape room with a hidden traitor? That's kind of an interesting question. Not that I'm aware of, but
pull it off. Like right before you go in, like before you go in, I gotta go to the bathroom, and the guy intercepts you in the way. And you're not on their team.
Well, I guess like if an escape room, if they set up some kind of a system where you had to register online in advance, obviously if people no-showed, this wouldn't work. But like if you registered online and they had people's email addresses, in theory, they could pick somebody to be the traitor.
Well, also, you could just, when you got there, they're like, hey, one of you is going to be a traitor. Each of you is going to go in the room for the next minute. And if you're a traitor, you're just going to sit there for a while.
Right.
And otherwise, you come out. And then that'd be interesting. Open one up, the person who said that, and I would come. And I would yell at Eric the whole time, like, I know you're a traitor. I know that puzzle.
My dream that will
smart enough to solve this.
You're not stupid. You're a traitor.
What I want somebody to design, and it'll never happen because it's probably way too big, is I want a mega game escape room where there are multiple people in multiple rooms, and at some point things have to connect, And that's what I want to see. I don't know who or how that can be designed, but that's what I want.
Yeah.
Or a haunted house escape room.
Ooh,
You
yeah.
don't know that. You don't know that when you go in. So we like open a panel and the guy comes out like, this isn't really an escape room. We've really been trapped here. We need to get out. And we're like, is he kidding? Is he an actor? We're not sure.
Yeah. So what are the big priorities and fun things happening on the Dice Towers live streams for tomorrow?
Good question.
All right, tomorrow.
Of course, all of this is subject to change because...
Big asterisk, just in case.
Thames and Cosmos. Ooh, they're showing the new version of Lost Cities. I saw it today.
Okay.
Genius Games, we hope. Everything Epic, Red Raven Games, Evil Hat Productions, WizKids. I have no idea how he's going to show that many games in 20 minutes. But
that's a lot of games, including
Ares
Star
games.
Trek Galactic Enterprises.
Wait, hold on, what?
Star Trek Galactic Enterprises.
I don't know what that is, and now I need to know what that is.
I don't either, but I thought you might be interested.
I am, and I guess I'll have to watch the Dice Towers live streaming coverage from Origins 2018 on Thursday to find out more.
I really like her.
We really keep her around.
NSPN Games, Inside Out Games, Lone Shark Games, Brain Games, Mayday Games, Indie Boards and Cards, where I bet they show off a game called Exodus.
I bet they do.
Wait, are you doing it?
I don't know. We need the
I
other
don't have the other
sheet.
schedule. That'd be hilarious. And you have to sit there and go, so then how does that work?
Interesting.
Like, if Eric is the person doing this, you guys can laugh because you'll know he played it ahead of time. Cryptozoic, Ultra Pro, and Chip Theory Games, where you'll see the expansion for Too Many Bones. And there's probably a few other ones that Chaz is stuck in there somewhere.
Okay. Do any of the days of coverage have Gale Force 9 on the list? I didn't think I heard it for tomorrow. There's no specific reason for me asking this, I swear.
You just want us to ask about more Star Trek expansions.
I do. I want those Ascendancy expansions so much.
Something here. They have lost the license for Star Trek.
You are the worst, Tom. Tom is wrong. Hold on, and that's my video.
It actually says they had it printed, but they just decided to burn them all.
Okay, I put out a straight face for ludicrous nonsense.
Yeah, if you're both mean to me, then we lose the magic.
I don't think Gale Force 9's even here. Oh, wait.
Oh, really? Oh, they sometimes don't come to Origins. That sounds right.
I don't know what I'm pointing at. I'm just kidding. But I really think they're in this hall here, actually.
All right, so where are Mandy and Suze, and why are they not here saying hello to me right now?
They were right over there.
I think they went to eat. I think they
may have gone to eat because they were in the middle of the game.
They ate lunch late.
Yeah.
I would like to say, though, I took Suzanne through the North Market, and she was suitably impressed. Good. And then I was happy because I'm always nervous when I talk up food. And
I have yet to enter the North Market this year.
Ever?
No, this year.
Well,
so I went to lunch and I was headed my way, and then there was like this new taco place, and I went, okay, new taco place.
So guess where we went for dinner?
We went to the new taco place.
Ooh, squirrel. Is Pikachu's butt present at Origins?
I don't think Pokemon's here.
If it is, it's elsewhere. Is it an A?
Oh, that's true. This is a really weird thing. So if you can see behind us, you can see that wall. That's Hall B. That's the exhibit hall. And then you have to go all the way through that to get to Hall A. So I don't know really. I don't know Pikachu. I think I would have noticed Pikachu if he had been there, though.
He's pretty noticeable. He's not here.
I'm going to go with no. But you know what? I saw lots of kids wearing Pokemon hats. And I think Pokemon was here handing out hats somewhere. So I guess they're here. Because I didn't realize that. I saw young Zelensky wearing a Pokemon hat.
All right. All right, chat. You guys are talking it up a storm, but I need some more questions either about the convention or Eric or Tom or me. Feel free to throw more questions at us. Somebody asked if we'll be watching the World Cup tomorrow. I imagine you all won't be because you're kind of live at Origins. So
easy.
Jason will be because
it's his job.
It's his job. He's actually worried if the World Cup does unexpected things. It may run into Dice Tower Con.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, again. So he'll do it again. He'll fly into Dice Tower Con and be like, "I'm here." Back to work.
That was.
Last year was amazing. Jason, he worked all day. He flew in, landed in Orlando around like 9 every night.
It was late.
And then he would come for a few hours, sleep, get up at 7 in the morning, fly back to Miami,
Go to work.
It was very dedicated, and we all thought he was insane. And now that we've had a year to think about it,
He's still insane.
yes.
I mean, but his joke about the Oscars that went off at the Dice Tower Awards was great, so it was all worth it.
Here's the deal, folks. We have new trophies for the Dice Tower Awards, and they are amazing.
They're not just printed off of the printer?
They are not just, they are printed, no, they're amazing.
Oh,
I'll see you later. We are not going to reveal them yet.
surprises. Okay, so what part of, so we're at Origins right now, but there's still stuff coming up, like Dice Tower Con. What are the two of you most excited about for Dice Tower Con in a few weeks?
Well, we're doing live Magical Athletes, so that's going to be exciting.
I'm excited to see it. I will be there.
I know you'll be there because you're the announcer.
Yes. Am I doing the play-by-play?
We're going to work out those details with Robert Geislinger. Me and Robert Geislinger are the architects. You're going to be the announcer or play-by-play, whatever.
Sure.
Crystal and Amby are the refs.
Do they get striped shirts? Please say they get striped shirts.
I haven't. I have one, but I think it's too big for them.
You're gonna promise stripes.
So maybe Amby and I could wear it together if it's big enough.
Oh my
We could be
It's a
headed ref.
edit.
We'll totally do that. I mean, I don't want to speak for Amby, but I'm pretty sure we can handle that.
I feel like my shirt might just be big enough for them to do that, which is unfortunate.
I mean, Amby is very tiny. I'm not, but you know, I can squeeze.
And let's see. So, yeah, and then Sam and Z and some unknown contestants. And then the people in the audience will be playing, and they will be doing it live. And we have more secrets that we haven't planned yet.
Yeah. I mean, all the live shows, the game shows and stuff, I'm always looking forward to those.
Also, I'm always thrilled because there are more people from the Dice Tower show up there than any other convention.
True.
We had that picture taken last year. It's so fun, right?
Oh yeah.
See everybody, and we're all in one place. Also, we got a big announcement.
Oh, you know what she's actually asking us to say? You know what we're most excited about is that you'll be there.
Ah, that's Tom immediately.
I just said all the people from the Dice Tower.
I think she was looking specifically for that.
I really wasn't, but that's Tom's reaction was visceral. He was like, "That's not true."
No, it's not that it's not true. I mean, it's true, but you were just
What?
that's flattery. It's a lie. That's not what Eric's most looking forward to. He'll be like, "I'm so glad. Where's the pool?"
Well, Eric and I didn't get to play a ton of games together at Dice Tower Con last year. We got to play a couple games together late at night. I think we played one of the Oink games, but I don't remember which one.
We played Startups.
Startups, that's right.
Play a game or two. There's like 3,000 people there. I don't think Eric should hog anyone's time. Eric and I just played a game together for the first time this year, I think.
Well, yeah, sure. I haven't seen you since January.
What did we do in January?
Well, December was the cruise. I haven't seen you in person since then.
It's really been that long?
It has, yeah.
I mean, and I saw you at MeepleCon, Tom, but I don't know if we played any games together. I think I just helped the Murph brothers crash some of your videos.
That video got all lost. I'm very upset about that.
Wait, what?
That video they said was corrupted. I think they're lying. But yes.
Oh, I mean, you still got some of the stuff in Board Game Breakfast for that week, though. I was the one that came and ushered them out of one of them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So that was fun. Okay, let's see. Questions from the chat. Any more news about the December Dice Tower gathering?
Yes. So if you have not got an invite yet, it may. Here's the deal. So everyone who wanted to come sent them to me. We had tons of them. I sent out information. Said, email me back. We put everything in very strict order. We have sent them out. The gatherings are mostly filled, both of them. And we're going to have a room for a few more. But if you haven't got something yet, you're likely not going to. And I feel bad about that, but that's the only way to be fair. We had to do it in time order. There's a few more that will go out, but we're almost full.
That makes sense. I would love to join you all for the gathering, but since I now might be going on the Dice Tower cruise in January, it would be difficult for me to make it all the way across the country twice in such a short span of time. So I probably won't be at the gathering. Sorry, I was talking. I missed what you said, Tom.
I said it's a reasonable thing. Dice Tower Cruise.
Yeah.
And there's still room in the Dice Tower Cruise.
There is 21 rooms left out of like 300 or something.
All right.
Yeah, there's not much left, but it's going to be amazing.
So obviously things haven't kicked off 100% at Origins yet, but someone's asking if you guys have seen any giant versions of games there yet.
There's they packed it up.
I was just gonna, I was gonna show it with the camera.
Atlas Games had a giant version.
There was one right there. Hang on, I gotta make sure I'm pointing.
What game was it though?
It was that Fox and Hound 2-player game. Well, since we're showing people around,
there's Light Seekers.
I think
you can see Yellow's booth back there.
Did Derek go over there to test that game out? He might be over there still. Look, there's Sam Healy playing Dead Last.
They're playing Dead Last?
I thought he didn't like Dead Last, but I might be wrong. Okay, then over here, you can see Academy Games was setting up, but they gave up. Over here is the boardroom is back there. It's hard to see. There's some people there, but not a ton. And then.
Oh my goodness. So Sam's playing Dead Last. Where's Z Garcia hanging out?
He disappeared. He didn't come to dinner with us either.
Oh no, that's because he had a game. He had a game at the people, and he was playing Blue Moon City. And if I know Z, he's out hanging at some place with some buds or whatever.
Yeah, I did one of my Kickstarter games today. I got to play Merchant of Venus, 2-player, which I don't usually do.
Yeah, that's true. You don't. I don't. When's the last time you probably don't remember last time you did 2-player?
Yeah, I think when I taught it to my wife, probably. Yeah.
All right. He says, are you going to make a Dice Tower version of Code Names? Oh, so like with Dice Tower, like people and things on it? I feel like that would be a little too narrow, right?
Oh, very specific. Yeah.
I mean, maybe as a joke, that would be funny for like April Fool's Day if you announced that as the next Dice Tower Essentials game or something, which now I've spoiled it, so can't do it, but something like that. Oh, Netters is in the chat, and she says a giant version of Strike would be so much fun, and I 100% agree, Netters. I would like someone to do that right now, please. Tom, I know your Strike is not your favorite, and I don't care.
I still have yet to play that one.
It shouldn't be as fun as it is, honestly, and I'm very curious about the new version coming out later this year, because it looked like that the arena, the box, might actually be a little bit different, and I don't know, maybe it won't have the same magic as the arena in the original Strike. Someone asks, if I go on the Dice Tower Cruise 2019, will Eric promise to create my voicemail on my phone?
Oh, hey, this works for that too.
That says on. So yes, on. Voicemail on, apparently, is what Tom is saying. So you can take that to the bank. Oh, technology. Screwing up coherent Dice Tower streams since 2005 or something.
The joke is ruined. The joke is ruined is all I can say. All right. Now, okay. First I was saying no to Giant Strike because that's idiotic. But then secondly, no, we can't have Eric do that because that's actually a pledge in our thing, and it diminishes the pledges if we do that.
Absolutely. So how did are the rewards from the Dice Tower Kickstarter, are those going out? What time, what period during this year is that happening? Is that in the fall?
Well, according to the pledge manager, they say they're going out in September. We're hoping to get them out sooner than that, of course, and we're working on that. That is a full-time thing that will be worked on, that we're actually currently working on. Kenny is in charge of that, and so it's underway. We got some of the rewards here. We got the metal dice came in today, and they look sharp.
Like literally sharp? Because that could be dangerous.
Kind of.
No, not really.
Not dangerous sharp, but they have sharp.
But they came in a brick, okay? And like in a box, and like they're all stacked really neatly, and it is heavy. It's like 30 pounds or whatever.
How are you getting it home?
We're shipping it with cool stuff.
Okay, good.
make cool stuff do the heavy lifting. That seems fine. All right, we're running out of questions again, chat. So if you have any more questions for Tom and Eric about what's happening at Origins, we know it's only day 1, but I'm sure, you know, if you know of a game that they should go check out, or if there's something that you've really been itching to know more about, maybe they've already played it. So feel free to drop that in the chat. Otherwise, you know, what are your plans for the remainder of the evening?
What are our plans for the evening?
Yes, I know it's kind of late there now, but
yeah, it's we may play one more game. It is sort of emptying out. It is that first day. People are probably wanting to get here early for tomorrow, so that they're here for the big opening of the exhibit hall. But it's possible a light game may hit the table. I may go to sleep. I don't know. Haven't decided yet.
That makes sense. I mean, and so with Origins, I've never been. Do you? And I know you've only been a couple of times, Eric, or it's been a couple of years. There isn't as big of a rush on day 1 at Origins like there is at Gen Con and other cons. Is that correct, or is it kind of crazy still at the doors on day 1?
There's still the rush. There's still the people coming in on day 1 to get the few titles that are limited. We talked about the ones from oh golly, Next Move, is that right? The whatever the new imprint is that has Reef and Century. They've got the brand new titles here that are both limited.
I think it's
running to that.
What's funny is I actually made the opposite mistake the other day, and I called Plan B, or no, I called Next Move Plan B. So that's funny.
Well, there isn't Next Move.
Is it?
Yeah, Next Move is an imprint of Plan B.
Yes, Plan B imprints. They have Next Move, Eggertspiel, and Pretzel Games.
Okay,
Pretzel
well that explains my confusion then.
Games. Plan B are very simple games that apparently all have 4 letters in their names. No joke. Azul and Reef. And then
Next and Move have 4 letters in their names too.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some sort of whatever there. And then everything else goes under Eggertspiel, I think. There might be some that are just Plan B. I'm super confused about this, but I feel like, hey, there's 400 companies like, hey, let's make 6 imprints, Rise, 2,400 names, and I'm like, no, Asmodee, I hate you.
Yeah. And then they get mad at you if you give the wrong imprint name. Anyway, so there is a rush, but just for sheer numbers, this is about the quarter of the size of Gen Con. So even if there is a rush on the first day, it's not nearly what you experience at Gen Con. We also get to see it from the other side. We are outside the main exhibit hall here at our booth, so we see people rushing in from where we are to the inside. Whereas at Gen Con, we're inside the hall and we see, which is a different feel.
Okay, this is a good go ahead, Tom. We got a good question from the chat, because even though I've never been to Origins, this is a thing I am aware of. Anyone get any splinters yet from the tables? Because I hear about this every year from people.
Yeah. You know what? Table dice there, and that helps out a lot, right? And Sam is playing on a one of the table toppers. So the wooden tables here, and this is not an Origins thing. This is this convention thing. It's like, do they use these tables for like when people do nice events here and such? I don't understand why they're even using wooden tables. Get plastic tables. They're cheaper, lighter to carry.
Yeah.
They're just as sturdy as the wooden ones.
Do they make plastic versions of the big wooden ones like we have here?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They make plastic of those. We use them at our school. Then you just pick them and roll
them. So
it's like we're losing our connection a little bit.
Yes, Tom and Eric, you're dropping out a little bit here and there. So I can still keep talking. I can't hear you all right now.
So we should probably end this for now, because we're going to be doing live streaming tomorrow anyway.
That sounds like a reasonable thing for us to do. Your video is frozen for me, but I can still hear you occasionally.
It sounds like we're losing everything, actually.
Possibly. I think I can still see myself on the stream when I'm talking. So you know what, chat? This is now Dice Tower Unplugged. You can say all of the wonderful things about Tom and Eric that you would be embarrassed to say normally because, you know, you don't want them to know how much you love them. So say those now, all of your nice things. And they've told me to close out the show. So in the chat. So I'm going to say that this is the end for Dice Tower tonight. I do not have my normal pre-written notes to give Eric's spiel, so we're going to do it off the cuff. So you've been watching Dice Tower tonight live from Origins 2018 and Las Vegas, where I am. Thank you all so much for watching. Promotional consideration is provided by review publishers in the form of board game publishers in the form of review copies of games. And thank you for your continued support watching the Dice Tower. The Jack Vassell Memorial Fund is dedicated to supporting board gamers in their hour of need. Find out how you can help at jackvassell.org. And if you need help because your table's been flipped upside down, you can go there to request help as well. That was out of order. I don't have a pun. I've used up my best ones and I can't come up with one on the fly right now. So for more Origins coverage, come back to the Dice Tower channel tomorrow where Tom, Eric, Suzanne, Mandy, Sam, Z, the whole gang is going to be live talking about games, showing off games. It's going to be wonderful. They're talking to a bunch of publishers. I won't be there, but I'll be there in spirit. And we hope you all tune in. But until next time, have fun gaming. And I can't end the stream, so I'm just going to sit here until it ends.
Gaming. Thanks.